Good morning, students. Welcome to your English literature class. In the previous session, we did the explanation of page 142. Today, we are going to continue Act 4 and we will discuss the explanation of page 144. So, students, open your textbook of The Tempest at page number 144. The objectives of this session are: today you will be able to understand the meanings of the difficult words, the references used in the text, and the explanation of the dialogues. So, now let's discuss the word meanings first. So, students, please mark the difficult words and note down their meanings. The first difficult word is trumpery, meaning is fancy clothes. Next is for stale, meaning is to use as a bait. Now, what do you mean by bait? Actually, bait, a food placed on a hook or in a trap to lure animals as a prey. Now, let's discuss the explanation of these dialogues. Prospero. This was well done, my bird. Thy shape invisible, retain thou still. The trumpery in my house, go bring it hither, for stale to catch these thieves. Now here, my bird refers to Ariel. So Prospero appreciates Ariel for his work and orders him to remain invisible, and also tells him the trumpery or the royal garments are lying in his cell, so go bring it hither. So he orders him. So Prospero orders Ariel to go and bring it here, so that with the help of those garments he could catch hold of or catch those thieves. Now these thieves refer to Stefano, Caliban and Trinculo. So Ariel, I go. So Ariel is ready to obey his master, so he goes away. Now what is the gist of the text? Prospero appreciates Ariel's work and orders him to stay invisible, and also tells him to bring the fancy clothes out of his cell to use as bait to catch those thieves, that is Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo. And Ariel goes. Let's discuss cross questions. First question is, what assignment does Prospero give to Ariel? Prospero orders Ariel to bring fancy or glittering or royal clothes from his cell. Next is, why does Prospero want to catch those thieves? Those thieves here refer to Caliban, Stefano and Trinculo. So Prospero wants to catch those thieves as he wants to teach them lesson for hatching a conspiracy against his life. Next is, who are the thieves? Students, as we have already discussed, the thieves are Stefano, Caliban and Trinculo. Next is, what did those thieves do? Yes, just now we have already discussed. Those thieves plotted a conspiracy to kill Prospero. Now let's move further. Note down the word meanings. First is cankers, means becomes poisonous. Next is plague, meaning is torment. Next is line, means clothes. Next, glistering, means shining. Next is apparel, means clothes. Now let's discuss the explanation. Now Prospero, a devil, a born devil, on whose nurture can never stick, on whom my pains, humanly taken, all lost, quite lost. And as with age his body uglier grows, so his mind cankers. I will plague them all, even to roaring. Come, hang them on this line. Enter Ariel, loaded with glistering apparel, etc. Now here a devil refers to Caliban. So here actually Prospero, when Ariel goes away, Prospero is talking to himself. So we have a figure of speech here. When a character talks to himself, the figure of speech is soliloquy. So soliloquy means when a character talks to himself. So here Prospero is talking to himself and says, Caliban is a devil from the moment he is born. His nature can never be changed. No matter on whom my pains, no matter how much care he receives. Humanly taken, all lost, quite lost. So he further says, all my attempts to make him educate have been lost, have been wasted. And as with age, his body uglier grows. His body, whose body is talking about? Caliban. So his mind cankers. So Prospero says, as Caliban grows uglier with age, his mind also becomes poisonous. I will plague them all, even to roaring. So he says, I will punish him till he roars in pain. Come, hang them on this line. Now by this time Ariel comes and Prospero orders Ariel to hang those glittering garments which are brought by Ariel, to hang them on this clothes line. Now Prospero and Ariel remain invisible. Now both of them are invisible. Now let's discuss the gist of the text. Prospero says about Caliban that he is a devil, a born devil, who can never be trained. All his attempts to help him have been wasted. As his body grows uglier with age, his mind rots away as well. He will punish them all till they roar with pain. So here, as Prospero is talking to himself, so we have figure of speech is soliloquy. So Ariel enters loaded with sparkling clothes. Now enter Caliban, Stephano and Trinculo, all wet. They are fully wet. Now let's discuss cross questions. First question is, why is Caliban referred to as born devil? Caliban is referred to as born devil as he is the son of witch Sycorax, and moreover he is a brute in nature. Next is, what is the impact of education on him? Caliban is so brutal that the education had no effect on him. Now students, next question is, why was Prospero annoyed with him? Prospero was annoyed with him as Caliban has plotted a conspiracy to kill him. Next question is, why is Prospero remorseful? Now students, Prospero is remorseful as he had made all his attempts to educate Caliban, but education had no effect on him. Next is, from where did Ariel get the glittering garments? Ariel got the glittering garments from Prospero's cell. Why were the glittering garments hung on the line? The glittering garments were hung on the line to trap the three conspirators. Three conspirators are Caliban, Stephano, and Trinculo. Now students, let's move further and discuss word meanings of the next dialogue. Now note down, first word is tread, means walk. Mole means a kind of small animal. Next is footfall, means footstep. Next is played the jack, means acted like a rug. Now let's discuss the next dialogues. Caliban, pray you, tread softly, that the blind mole may not hear a footfall. We now are near his cell. Now, here Caliban is requesting to Stephano and Trinculo to walk softly. Not even a blind mole would hear their feet touch the ground. So, as we now are near his cell, as they are near Prospero's cell. Stephano, monster, your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, has done little better than played the jack with us. Now, monster. Who is monster here? Yes, Caliban is a monster. So, your fairy. Who is his fairy? Ariel is his fairy. So, fairy refers to Ariel. So, Stephano tells Caliban that your fairy, which you say is a harmless fairy, as he was saying that his fairy is a harmless fairy, Ariel is a harmless, he has done little better than played the jack with us. He has done nothing, rather playing pranks after pranks on them. Now, the gist of the text is Caliban warns them and requests them to walk softly as they were near Prospero's cell, and he does not want that Prospero also hears them approach. Stephano says to Caliban that the spirit he has been talking about has been playing tricks on them. Now students, let's discuss cross questions. First is, who appears soon thereafter? Caliban, Trinculo and Stephano appeared soon thereafter. Next is, in what state were the three conspirators? The three conspirators here refers to Caliban, Stephano and Trinculo. And those three conspirators were fully wet. Next is, why does Caliban request his co-conspirators to keep quiet? Caliban requests his co-conspirators to keep quiet as they have reached near Prospero's cell and he does not want Prospero comes to know about them. Next is, who is harmless fairy referred to here? Yes, Ariel is a harmless fairy referred to here. Next is, according to Caliban, why is a fairy harmless? According to Caliban, fairy is harmless because he often hears such sounds on the island, as the island is full of mysterious sounds and melodies which are pleasant to the ear and are harmless. Now students, let's discuss the word meanings of the next dialogues. The first word is horse piss, means horse urine. Next is indignation, means anger. Next is displeasure, means angry. Now let's discuss the explanation of these dialogues. Trinculo, monster, I do smell all horse piss. At which My nose is in great indignation. Now Trinculo also addresses Caliban as a monster and he says, his nose is smelling like a horse piss, means horse urine, which is making his nose upset. Nose is in great indignation means this smell is making his nose upset. Now at this Stephano says something. So what does he say? Stephano, so is mine. Stephano says mine too, means his nose is also smelling the same. Do you hear, monster? If I should take a displeasure against you, look you. So he says, if he gets angry at him, then Trinculo completes Stephano's sentence and says, thou wert but a lost monster. Then it would be your end. Let's discuss the gist of the text. Trinculo replies to Caliban that he smells like horse piss, which is making his nose pretty upset. At this, Stephano says that he is also smelling, and if he decides to angry at him, then Trinculo continues and says that it would be his end. Now let's discuss the cross questions related to these dialogues. First is, why were Stephano and Trinculo smelling like horse piss? Stephano and Trinculo were smelling like horse piss as they were left in the stinking pool by Ariel, where they got fully wet. Next is, what would Stephano do if he gets angry at Caliban? If Stephano gets angry at Caliban, then he could kill Caliban. Whom does Trinculo call monster and why? Trinculo calls Caliban a monster because Caliban is a half monster and a son of a witch. Now let's discuss the word meanings of the next dialogues. Word is hoodwink, means put out of sight. Next is mischance, means misfortune. Next is hushed, meaning is silent. Now let's discuss the explanation of the next dialogue. Caliban, good my lord, give me thy favour still. Be patient, for the prize I'll bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Therefore speak softly, all's hushed as midnight yet. So here Caliban says that he needs Stephano's or Trinculo's favor. So he tells them to be patient. Now why he tells them to be patient? Because he tells them that for the prize I will bring thee to shall hoodwink this mischance. Because he says that the prize he is leading them to will make them forget how smelly they are. Therefore speak softly. So speak softly, all's hushed as midnight yet. Everything is as silent as a midnight. Now Trinculo says, "Yea, but to lose our bottles in the pool." Now actually Trinculo is grieving over the loss of his wine bottle. So he says that he has lost his wine bottle in the pool. Stephano, there is not only disgrace and dishonor in that monster, but an infinite loss. So what is an infinite loss according to them? Yes, an infinite loss refers to their losing the wine bottle in the pool. So he says that losing the wine bottles was more disgraceful than getting wet in the pool. That's more to me than my wetting, yet this is your harmless fairy monster. So he is grieving over the loss of his wine bottle and says that losing the wine bottle was more disgraceful than getting wet in the pool. At this, Stephano, I will fetch off my wine bottle, thou I be over ears for my labor. So here Stephano says that he would get his wine bottle back if it's the last thing he does. Now let's discuss the gist of the text. Caliban asks them refers to Trinculo and Stephano, to be patient and tells them that the prize he is leading them to will make them forget how smelly they are now. But Trinculo and Stephano are grieving over the loss of their wine bottle in the pond. Let's discuss the cross questions. First is, what is disgrace and infinite loss? Disgrace and infinite loss refers to losing the wine bottles in the pool. Next is, where was that precious article lost? That precious article refers to their wine bottle. So that wine bottle or precious article was lost in the stinking pool. Now let's discuss the word meanings of the next dialogues. First word is mouth. Meaning is entrance. Next is footlicker. Means slave. Next, bloody. Means murderous. Next, peer. Means locked. Next, wardrobe. Means store of fine garments. Next is trash. Means rubbish. Next is frippery. Means an old clothes shop. Let's discuss the explanation of the next dialogue. Caliban, Prithi, my king, be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of cell. No noise and enter. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever, and I thy Caliban, for thy footlicker. So here Caliban addresses Stephano as his king. So my king refers to Stephano. So why does Caliban call him my king? As Caliban has already asked him if he helps him in killing Prospero, then he will make Stephano the king of this island. So Caliban addresses Stephano as his king and asks them to be quiet. Seest thou here? This is the mouth of cell. As they have reached near the or at the entrance of Prospero's cell. No noise and enter. So it tells them not to make any noise and enter the cell. Do that good mischief which may make this island thine own forever. Now that good mischief refers to kill Prospero, to murder Prospero. So he tells Stephano to kill Prospero, which may make this island thine own forever. So Caliban reminds Stephano to kill Prospero, as after his death Stephano would be the king of this island, and I thy Caliban, for thy footlicker, and I your Caliban would become your slave forever. Footlicker means slave. So in this way, after killing Prospero, Stefano would be the king of this island and Caliban will be the slave of Stefano forever. At this, Stefano says, "Give me thy hand. I do begin to have bloody thoughts." So Stefano says, "Give me your hand, as I am starting to feel murderous urges." Now Trinculo, seeing the apparel, "O King Stefano, O pure, O worthy Stefano, look, what wardrobe here is for thee." So Trinculo looks at those glittering garments and says, "O King Stefano, O King, look at the fabulous or glittering wardrobe waiting for us here." Caliban, "Let it alone, thou fool, it's but trash." Now Caliban tells them to leave it alone as it is worthless. These glittering garments are worthless. Now let's discuss the gist of the text. Caliban again requests them to be quiet as they have reached at the entrance to his cell and reminds Stefano to do the deed that will make this island his forever and will make him his worshipful footlicker. But just at that time, Trinculo catches sight of the garments hanging on the lime tree and draws the attention of Stefano to it. Let us discuss cross questions. First is, who is referred to as my king? My king is referred to here is Stefano. Next is, where are the king and the Caliban? The king and Caliban are near Prospero's cell. Students, next question is, why is the king requested to be quiet? The king here refers to Stefano. So the king is requested to be quiet by Caliban as they have reached at the entrance of Prospero's cell. Now next question is, what is the good mischief? Good mischief refers to kill Prospero or to murder Prospero. How would the three conspirators benefit from this mischief? As after killing Prospero, Stefano would become the king of the island, Caliban would become his slave, and Trinculo would become his counselor. Now let's move further and discuss the next explanation. Trinculo, "Oh ho monster, we know what belongs to a frippery," puts on a gown. "O King Stefano." So here Trinculo says, "Oh monster, we know second-hand clothes when we see them." So he puts on a gown and tells Stefano to look at him. "Stefano, put off that gown, Trinculo. By this hand, I will have that gown." So Stefano tells him to take off that gown, as he also swears that gowns belong to him, or he says that gowns is for him. "Trinculo, thou grace shall have it." Then Trinculo says, "Okay, then he can have it. Stefano can have this gown then." Now students, let's discuss the gist of the text. Trinculo and Stefano are both attracted by this show and get busy in taking many garments. With this, the explanation of page 144 ends up here. So students, now your homework for the day is plan page 146 of the Tempest textbook and solve extract 9 of the workbook of the Tempest. Thank you.